Question 36 from the North Carolina Math 1 released items from the calculator active section. David has a rectangle and a right triangle. The length of the rectangle is 5 more than the width, W. The length of the shorter leg of the triangle is equal to the rectangle's width. The length of the longer leg of the triangle is twice the length of the rectangle. Now the question is, which function, f of W, represents the combined area of the rectangle and the triangle? So after you read through that question, you should try this and pause the video and move on. And we'll go over it in 3, 2, 1. So first thing you gotta know how to set up the area formula and of a rectangle and a triangle. And so first, let's get that out of the way. So the area of a rectangle is going to be simply length multiplied by width. And the area of a triangle is the base multiplied by the height divided by 2, or 1/2 times the base times the height. So you got to know all those things first. Now let's talk about the types of things that we have. We have an expression that says the length of the rectangle is 5 more than its width, W. So I'm going to make a little expression here. So my length is equal to 5 more than, so 5 plus its width. Part B, or bullet 2, the length of the shorter leg of the triangle is equal to the rectangle's width. So let's talk about that triangle for a second. Shorter leg, so it's a right triangle, a right triangle. And with a right triangle, remember that in a right triangle, the legs are the base and the height. And this longest side is the hypotenuse. So we're not going to use the hypotenuse for the area. We're just going to use the two legs as the base and the height. So the length of the shorter leg, let's call the shorter leg the base of the triangle, is equal to the rectangle's width. So I'm going to make a little right triangle here. And the shorter leg, we'll call that the base, is equal to the width of the rectangle. So I'm just going to say W. So B equals W. The length of the longer leg of the triangle is twice the length of the rectangle. So that's going to be 2 times L. Now it wants to know the function f of W represents the combined area of the rectangle and the triangle. And we got a problem because all of our answer choices are in terms of W, not L. So this L here is going to have to be written as something in terms of W. So I'm going to rewrite this 2L. Go over here. 2L is really 2 times what L represents. And we have an expression over here for L. That's 5 plus W. So I'm going to move that 5 plus W right into there. And that's going to be 2 times 5 plus W. Awesome. So now I have my width, or my base and my height, in terms of W. Now, as far as the area of the rectangle goes, you should notice that we're also going to have to get this in terms of W as well. So for the rectangle, I have length times width, but my length is 5 plus W, so that length is going to turn into 5 plus W, just like I did for the triangle. I'm going to bring that over here, multiplied by W. So I have two expressions, okay? For my rectangle's area, I have my length times width, so 5 plus W, multiplied by W. And for my triangle, for my base and height, I have two expressions. I have W for the base and 2 times 5 plus W for the height. So this is base times height divided by 2. So my base is going to be W. My height is going to be 2 parentheses 5 times W. Let me squeeze that in there a little bit. This is a little tricky to do, isn't it? So 5 plus W. And then that's going to be divided by 2. And it says, what function represents the combined area? Combine means to add. So if I add these two things up, it should give me one of these two expressions. This question is a lot of work. So let's think about what we're doing when we're combining and we're multiplying things. First thing I want to do is I want to just recognize that I'm going to be doing 5 plus W multiplied by W. I'm going to put that W out front here. And so that's just going to be distributing. So that's going to be 5w plus w squared. And we got that. Now this over here, you should recognize that there's a 2 and a 2. And since that 2 is being multiplied by this stuff up on the numerator, and the 2 is being divided by it, those will actually cancel out. Okay, so 1/2 and this 2 will cancel out. And so this is going to end up just being w times 5 plus w. Well, wait a minute. That's the same thing as up here. So I'm going to have another one of these. 5w plus w squared. Huh. So let's combine it. So I have 5w and 5w. Oh, well, those add to 10w. And I have w squared and w squared. And that's going to be 2 times w squared. And that's it. I don't have anything else to combine. So I got my total area, my combined area, and well, goodness, looks like it's going to be answer choice A. Now, this is a calculator active approach, and normally I say, let's find a way to get Desmos to help with it. And the only way I can think of doing this, because you have to be able to set up this question um, with the variables, is by maybe not doing this distributing and just throwing those into a graph and seeing which graph overlaps it. But guys, that's a lot of extra work. So this one is just going to require you to know how to, you know, what the area of a formula of a triangle and a rectangle is, and have some sense into setting up these equations. So there really aren't any shortcuts on this question. So thanks for watching this. I know this was a tough one.